actually about your childhood. Is there a time in your childhood, on your journey with your hair, that you remember that created an emotional response from you? I remember my aunt used to braid hair. You know, it was like a lot of us. My dad is one of 12, my mom is one of 6, so it's a lot of cousins, and so I have a lot of aunts. And they braided my hair, and I remember she braided my hair in a style that I thought was ugly. It was so ugly. I did not like that she braided it a certain way, but I had to walk around for a whole month, because you know, they don't wash your hair like every week, not back then. You're gonna walk around with your hair braided like that for a whole month. And I thought I was so ugly. I was sad about it. I was embarrassed about it. Is there a childhood time that created an emotion for you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I'm from Louisiana, and I remember in middle school, I was going from a curl to a perm.
Okay.
And my mom wore wigs, so she didn't know anything about hair. And my sisters were 14 and 16 years older than me, so they were gone. So it was just me at the house. And so my mom, she listened to everybody else. She don't know. She wear a wig every day. She don't know nothing about hair. So she was like, I was like, Mom, I said the curl. I don't want to do this. And, you know, curl was fading out at the time. I was like, Mom, I don't want to do this. I want to do something else. But I don't know either. So she listened to this lady, and she said, okay, she needs a perm. And my mom was like, you need to get a perm. And I'm like, okay, well, what we need to do? And the lady was like, I'm going to put a perm in her hair. Now, okay, we going to get a perm.
So tell me, what was the emotion that you experienced?
I was ready. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a perm. My hair gonna be straight. I'm gonna be cute. It's gonna be flowing. That's not what happened. I was bald. My hair came out.
Oh wow.
Because you just can't go from a curl.
Right.
So, see, everybody else can do that.
Right.
But we didn't know that back then, and my mama didn't know that. And all I knew was I was in the beauty salon crying as a kid because my hair was falling out in the chair. And all I said was, somebody better call my daddy.
Right.
Because my hair is falling out. I didn't want my mama in there. I said, my dad is going to fix this.
All right, thank you for that. Anybody else have a painful experience in childhood? Or you just been blessed all your life? Anybody else have a painful? Can anybody attest to something like that? Just raise your hand if you can. Okay, all right, okay. So you've had something that has happened to you in your past. Anybody else want to talk, share? We're passing the mic. I know that you might say that your voice is big enough for recording, so we would like you to use my mic.
She just brought to memory. I would say I was really traumatized by it. Thank God that there was a time when my mom actually relaxed our hair at a young age. My supposed to be difficult. And so I was wearing a relaxer and I seen all these different people wearing what they call the Jerry curl. And I thought it was so pretty. They had these pretty curls, and my sister had got one, and that's my big sister. I looked up to her, so I decided I wanted one too. So my mom didn't know that when you couldn't put a curl on a relaxed hair. So like this sister, my hair came out, but I don't remember. I think the curl didn't take, and I started using the curling iron to try to make a style I would like, and my hair began to break off. So I ended up getting my hair cut probably about an inch or 2 inches in the 6th grade. But I embraced it. I wore headbands, and I did have some curl. And I didn't cry about it or anything, and it wasn't traumatizing. But the same thing happened just from lack of education about hair from my parents. So hopefully today some of us will take that and be careful with us.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else want to share? Let me go to the next question. So when you think about, just shout out to me, some people whose hair, men and women, that when you see it, you think, oh, that's nice. That looks really nice. Tell me who. What would you say? Just shout it out.
My daughter.
Daughter, okay. I see some people in here. Who else? Anybody else that you've seen in the public eye that you think just their hair is?
Oh, Chloe and Halle Bailey. They're dreadlocks.
Okay, Chloe and Halle Bailey. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody you see on TV? When you see them, you're like, oh, that's nice. Y'all don't see nobody. Okay. I like Issa Rae.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Issa Rae. Issa Rae is somebody. Ketanji Brown Jackson. She's the Supreme Court judge. I like that she's in a high official position and she's still rocking her natural hair. I like that. Anybody else that you've seen out that you like their hair? Okay, well maybe I'll have to tell somebody. All right, let's go to the next question. What about the black hair images? Black hair images. What are you trying to project out with your natural hair? What do you want people to think about your hair? Whether it's conscious or unconscious. When people look at you, like you're walking around in this body with that hair the way it is, what do you want people to think?
Versatility.
Okay, that's your hair. Versatility. Okay, you wanna tell us more about that? Why that is?
Just so that between my daughter and I, just want them to see, him or her, just to see that it can be in the ponytail, it can be short one day, it can be long the next day, it can be, curly, in different styles in the curls, or twist and a twist out, so just being confident in the versatility.
So confidence and versatility. Yes, ma'am?
That it's acceptable.
Okay, let me come back here and talk to you.
And I'm not sure if someone already mentioned this, but that is acceptable because a lot of times I hear in the news, like people who wear their hair out that are like us, then they have to conform to social standards. So I've heard it before where a gentleman or a little girl goes to school and they are sent home by administration and told that they need to change their hair or cut their hair, trim their hair. It's too wild. And I'm a school teacher myself, so I do know that when you are coming to school as a student or as a child, sometimes your parents will do your hair, but sometimes you just have to get up and go. And for them to be sent home and told that their hair is unacceptable and it goes against the policy or the rules of the school, that's kind of what I'm getting at. So I would like for it to be more acceptable in different areas in society and kind of like be normal because this is our hair and so we wear it proudly.
Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate you saying that, and I'm glad that you're a school teacher and brought that out, that children get sent home because their hair is not the way, quote unquote, the dominant culture says their hair is supposed to be. But I think adults experience that too on their job. That when you go in, there's a look, a professional look that people think you're supposed to have. And that may not fit what they view as professional. But I think that's a power dynamic. That the dominant culture, who's determining what professionalism looks like is more than likely the dominant culture. What do y'all feel about that? Have you had any experiences on your job where they named you as unprofessional, didn't quite look the way they wanted you to look? Have you had any experience around that on your job? Yes?
Yeah. So, hi all, this is Rafi.
Oh, you guys go behind.
Yeah, I love having hair. Long hair. Hair is, to me, it's freedom. It's natural. I love what God has done for all of us. So it doesn't matter how it looks or how it is. So usually when I used to have long hair, people look at conferences and meetings, they'll say, man, this is not like a movie, you're not a movie star or a rock star. So I'm going to show you like how I used to grow my long hair.
So they wanted you to cut your hair
Yeah.
so that you can be more professional.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
I mean, it's okay. I didn't feel any bad because everyone is, maybe everyone is staying focused and they don't want to feel like, the client or the other audience to feel like, I did better.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah,
For sharing. So, any other comments about that? Do you know anybody who's had that type of experience in school? I see some young people in here. Have there been any times when you were bullied? Bullied for your hair being the way your hair is? Or saw some other student being bullied because of the way their hair is? Yes.
Well, I didn't speak about
Okay.
subjects. Me as in the professional world, and my sister, before we went natural, we had a discussion, we were very afraid, like, how's this gonna go on and work, and, after we changed to our natural hair, people ask us questions like, so why are you choosing to do your hair like that? And you have to be like, this is us. This is my hair, this is me, this is what you get. That other stuff, that wasn't me. And it was unhealthy for me. My hair was falling out. I had rashes on my scalp. It wasn't for me. And I was being something I wasn't. And then it came to bullying. So back to like what you said earlier, my mom was educated in healthy hair care. All she knew was it needed to be straight to look good, because I didn't have the good hair. I had the willy, nappy hair. So during school, she didn't know how to do my hair either. So sometimes I would just go to school with a hat on my head, and I would get bullied. Sometime one time on the bus, pushed my hat off. My hair did not. It was a hat hair day. And I just cried and cried and cried. It was a horrible situation, but it was because of no education for me, or my mom, because she didn't know what to do with my hair, especially with, even it wouldn't like get bone straight. I remember talking about I want my hair bone straight, it would never get bone straight, and so the bullying was
Real.
It was real.
Yes.
Yeah.
I appreciate you talking about like going from a relaxer and going from a curl to a relaxer and all that. There was a time where my hair was relaxed, and that transition to go, that same feeling that you said, how are people going to accept me when I just go natural? Because I was worried about that. And I get more compliments now than I did when my hair was relaxed. I get compliments pretty much every day in the hospital. Somebody is going to say something. And one day I got a compliment, and it was from a white guy. And it was a young white guy. And I was like, what? I was taken aback by that. But I think one thing is because my hair is gray. And so when people see it, they asking me if I've colored it or whatever, and I'm so proud to say, no, this comes from my daddy. It's passed down to me, and this is who I am, and I'm proud of that. So I wonder, what is it that makes you proud of your hair? What makes you proud of it? Or are you proud of it? Or are you still struggling with it?
Yeah, I can say it. When I decided to shave my head, I did it and didn't tell anybody. So of course, when I FaceTime people, my sisters, you get that. And when she was like, but then once people saw it, it was like, you have the head for it, you can do it. It works now. People, it was like, oh yeah, nobody else can pull that off. You do it.
You got the head.
Everybody was like, nobody else could have done that,
Right.
I knew I was gonna do it. It was me. I didn't care about what nobody else said. It was my decision. I was gonna do it. I did it, and that was it. It was everybody else had to catch up.
Okay, all right. So you're proud of it?
Oh,
Very
definitely.
much so. Okay. Anybody else proud of your look? I wish somebody would just blink at me and say, yes, I am, or something. Not your hand. You told me. Yeah, I heard you. Anybody else proud? Okay.
Yeah, I'm Chica. Actually, for more than 30-something years, I've been in the video world. So by the time I wanted to have a face, another face, kind of, I want to go natural. I'm like, you want me to take natural food like vegetables and everything, but you don't want me to go natural on my own. I want to change it up. I was finding it difficult then. Okay, how am I going to have a new face? My media program, because I've had a program handling families and marriages. So I was being very skeptical about it. But I told my daughter-in-law because at the time it was like, Mommy, short hair can be good for you. Natural hair can be good for you. I said, okay. She did cut my hair the first time. I went online on the Facebook Live, my video for my program. Oh my God, like I'm not looking good. And he said, Mom, you're good, just try it again. And I tried it again, and again, and again. And I don't want to go back to the Latin again. I don't want to have it wear wig again. So I have, even when I want to wear my hair tie, my natural, traditional hair tie, I still go with my natural hair. And I really feel good. Even my program now, people that watch my program were like, you look younger, you look so good.
Right.
And I said, I'm going to do that.
Exactly. Well, you look good. You look really good. All right. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, go ahead.
I think as a child, I wore my natural hair, but mostly like in pigtails. But
Okay.
as an adult, I really didn't wear it as much because I have a closet full of wigs. So I was just throwing a wig and go. But I think the more that, and I haven't worn a wig in like, I would say like 3 years consistently. So I'm so proud of that. I just wear my own hair. I do color it from time to time, but I haven't colored it in a while. I'll say the last time I colored it was, before the summer. But so I just think that the more that you wear your hair, the more comfortable you'll get with it. And so when I first cut my hair, I wasn't too comfortable. But as time went on, I began to love it. Just loving like the coils, the shortness about it. Putting on some moisturizer on it. So the more things that I did to my hair, the more I liked it. So now I've been short for like 2 years, maybe more than 2 years, maybe. And I really like it. And so yeah, my wigs are just sitting in my closet, laying there. I'm about to give them away. So yeah, I really like my hair.
Okay. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. All right, we're coming down to the last few minutes. One more question. When you think about the implicit learning that you had, what you've been trained from your childhood up to believe about hair and how over time that belief has changed. Can you tell me what is it that you believed initially that has completely changed as you got older? And I'll share mine. So I believed that to be pretty, I had to have straight hair. I believe that because everything that we did as in my community in Georgia, when it was time for Sunday morning church, your hair had to be combed and straightened. When it was time for Easter, your hair had to be straightened. When it was time for all these things, I had to get my hair straight. So straight hair was pretty hair. Over time, I had to change that belief because, and I struggled with it, and I just want to be honest, like I struggled with, my hair is not naturally straight. My hair curls up. So what do I do with this real hair versus this image that people have tried to put into me to have straight hair. So what's the transition that you had to make? What did you originally believe, and then you had to change your belief?
So for me, growing up, I always thought that I would never get dreads growing up. So like they're hassle, like they don't really look that too good. You know, it's better just to grow out a fro or keep your hair short and put some designs in your hair. Growing up, and like so a lot of my friends would get their hair dreaded. Like you should do it. You got a fro now. You can start ahead of us. It took us forever to get the one you would have. And I was just so against it because I was like, nah, having dreads is like a natural look for us black people. Don't really look that good. So it took a while to convince me to actually go into it now, kind of the look.
What was it that you said didn't look good? What is that? What do you mean it didn't look good?
It was not something that was considered like popular and natural in my environment. It was always the short buzz.
Okay.
Like black boys, you buzz your hair down till you can fade it your sides.
Okay.
So when people started to go out of it, I was like, well, that's not natural. That's not what we do over here. In this neighborhood, we go fade it or fro.
Okay, so you were gonna be ostracized because you growing dreads, right?
Yeah.
You were worried about that because everybody around you had buzz, fade. Okay. All right. So what made you? Tell me what made you choose to do the dreads anyway?
Honestly, it was my mom kept talking to me about it. Like, she talked to me since high school. She's like, you should dread your hair. And I didn't dread it to my senior year of college. It was like after the pandemic, I was like, I haven't been to no barbershops. I should just try something new. My hair just got really wild. I was like, I should try to organize it. And if I'm gonna do that, let's try something I ain't never did before. And I'm gonna say all the money I saved on not cutting my hair during the pandemic, I'm gonna put towards letting somebody actually do something new with it, and been sticking with it ever since.
Right. I'm appreciative. Thank you for having a male voice in the room. Any other males that want to speak to your hair? Or have you had any time where you got your hair cut a certain way simply because that's what people around you wanted you to do? I'm talking to the men in the room.
Yep.
Okay. All right, Eric.
Yeah, I think I have also wrestled with that, growing up. Then high school, college, you like what Aziz said, there's a way your community speaks to you without actually saying words.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah, there's a way, that's why I said in my presentation that there seems to be this unspoken standard that we have to conform to. Nobody says it or tells us, but we just see it being said all around us, non-verbally. And so I remember as a younger person, we wanted to have this, what did we call it then? What do you have? This one that goes way up.
Oh, the box.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And then after some time again, it was okay. Now it's gonna be slang, and just slang because again that was what was raining. So it's always been about what one is being told by the community, and that's one of the things that I struggle with for the younger generation. We seem to be so controlled by the external at the detriment of the internal, and we just want to please the external factors and just forget about our internal voices that are speaking to us. So yeah.
Right. Thank you so much for that. Your community, what's around you, can either help you, hurt you, or heal you. And I wonder how you are helping, hurting, or healing those that are in community movement. When was the last time you said something positive about somebody's hair? When was the last time you had a comment that lifted, brightened somebody's day about their hair? When you see women, when you see men that walking, or young boys, young girls, when was the last time you said something intentionally to lift their spirit, to lift their character? I pray that you will be community within yourself, that you will come to a place where you will love yourself, so much so that that love pours out to other people. Because it doesn't start externally, it starts internally. If you don't love yourself, then you share that hate out here with other people. But if you do love yourself, then you can compliment and say, you're so beautiful, or I really like your hair, or you can compliment other people because that flows out of who you are. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate you.
Put your hands together for Reverend Natasha Ramsey. Thank you so much, Rev. Thank you so very much for leading us to be able to share with ourselves, share our struggles, share our successes, and be able to encourage each other. Thank you so much for doing that.